Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and I am back with another Dark Park film reviews. And I guess my two movie streak is done. Third time is not the charm. Um, the first film of this year was a zombie film, which I really liked, Dead Sight. And then the second film was a Russian film called The Blackout Invasion Earth, and that was a invasion, alien movie. It's a Russian film dubbed in English, and I really liked that one. So I thought I would kind of stick with the Russian theme and do a movie that um, I'm a big fan of the subject matter, but I just did not like this film. About halfway through, I cracked open a beer. I am not a big drinker. I keep a couple in the fridge, and that's really about it. And they could sit in there for weeks or months. But this movie made me crack it open, and I'm still drinking it as this review happens because I feel that it's needed. And there's probably been a few other videos that I've done for reviews after midnight where I probably should have cracked open a beer, but it's well, let's get into it. So I really don't like this movie, but like I said, I love the subject matter. I got my list, and so let's start with it. So film title is Ghost of Chernobyl, and I picked this up at Zia Records, and I'm like, oh, cool! It looks like it's a found footage, like a Chernobyl film, and so that's the title. And what star rating would you give it? So for if we do the 1 to 5, I would give this one nuclear reactor. That's it. One. um I really, I probably should have watched Ghost of enemy. God, I'm just out of it. Ghost of Amityville. um it probably has better ghosts in it, so maybe I should have stuck with that. At least it has a picture of a clown on the front. I guess that's a clown there, so maybe there is a clown in the movie. I haven't watched it yet, but oh, there's a clown right there. So I don't know, maybe I just should have watched this instead. Um, before I really get into everything, avoid this. So I'm going to keep it for the reason that um, it looks like it was actually shot at um, Pripyat, which is the town or city that's only 2 miles away from Chernobyl. Um, because at the end of the film, there is behind the scenes as the credits are going. This is a no thrill DVD. Like, there's the trailer, that's it. And this is one that I would have liked to have had audio commentary with. Um, but it looks like it's the same location as the much better Chernobyl Diaries. So avoid this, watch this. This I am a big fan of, since it comes from, it's like written and produced by the same filmmaker that did Paranormal Activity. So watch this. This I really like, but and this I don't. If I haven't made that clear, uh, it looks like, because it says here that both of these films are like shot in Russia, Ukraine, different places like that. And I have to wonder, like, maybe these are shot in the same location. Maybe they're shot in that city. I'm still confused about some of this stuff, and I've looked it up to see if people actually take tours, and because I've heard the radiation has gone down enough now to where people can go in there, but just not for a long time. It's a very short time. But it looks like these might have been shot at the same place. It's possible that maybe that I think it was Netflix, the series for Chernobyl, might have also been shot there. So I don't know. I mean, it's I'm very curious to find out. Um, maybe this has audio commentary. No, no audio commentary on this, at least according to the special features. So, um, but the so getting into this, and let's see here. I want to. Okay, let's go back and find my ghosts thing here. Okay, so okay there. All right, so um, now we're gonna get to my questions here. So, um, what did you expect from the film? I was hoping it would be shot, like I said, which it looks like it is. These are Russian filmmakers, and it does, and it says, "Oh, actually, I have it right here." Um, I took a picture of the screen, and so it says shot on location in Russia, Moscow, and Tver regions, and Ukraine, and the exclusion zone. So it's the exclusion zone is the area that's like around that area, that's around that city, and which is now still a ghost town, and it has a lot of the items that the people left still there. There's an odd amount of doll heads and dolls there. There's still furniture and pictures and all that type of stuff. I guess like animals and homeless people live there now. And so I just think it would be fascinating. That is an absolute bucket list for me, is to go visit, there, and just to visit that Pripyat, um, to hang out there for like an hour, maybe two, however long we could stay without being affected by radiation. But okay, so what did I expect from the film? Well, I knew it dealt with Chernobyl. Look, found footage. It's a horror movie. Here's the back, and there are just things that are in these movies that match, um, like the city and stuff, which is, this Ferris wheel and some other things. And then here's the side. Um, so that's, and I was just expected to be entertained. I like found footage films. Um, I especially kind of like one location found footage films, but uh this just didn't do it for me. So I just wanted to be entertained, and it just didn't do it. Luckily it was under 90 minutes, so that was okay. It says, what type of film is it? Well, it's a horror film. It's a found footage horror movie. Does it have a message? I guess just Americans just need to stop being fucking assholes, when they go overseas, because this has some of the most insufferable people in it. And it's primarily four people. So there is a Russian guy in it, and he's the best out of the four. And then he is dating an American girl, and she flies over to Russia, and she says, "Well, I'm not coming alone. I'm going to bring two of my friends." And she is so annoying. Oh God, and she's not even that great of an actress. I mean, she's okay, um, but And the two guys that she's with are, oh my God, they're just so, everybody is so hateful, so disrespectful, so awful. If I was in Russia or really any other foreign country, um, I would be, respectful to their culture. I would be respectful to the people that were there. I would like to do the touristy things, but then yeah, I would like to go off the beaten path. And if it was Russia, I'd like to see these places. And just everybody who's in these types of movies are just dickheads. They're just dickheads, and you can't wait for them to die. It's funny is the main girl that's in this, the only girl that's, well, no, there's two girls in it. There's the um a little girl who I guess they were doing it, like the Russians did experiments on her after Chernobyl, and then she grew up in the city that was evacuated, and now she's like insane or a ghost or a demon or something like that there. And so she starts attacking the four uh people. And but it's funny is, so she'd be like the second woman that's there. The first is our lead, and she tells the Russian guy, her boyfriend, that she's pregnant. And later on, not that far down the road, he gets drunk, strips down to his underwear and his boxer briefs, and they're all like, hey, come back, come back. And he starts going into a lake, and he goes underwater, and he doesn't come back up. And this scene really annoyed me, so because I have to point this out, is when are men going to start being men again? I'm so tired of men not being men. And I have talked to a few women who are married or just have boyfriends, and they said that their guys can't even change a car tire. It's like, I live in Vegas. I make trips to LA all the time. It's a 4-hour trip. I've known how to change a tire since I was like 15. So you bet if I get stuck on the road, my tire blows out like halfway through the trip, I could just get out and change it because I always have the spare in the back and I got the tools to do it. At a young age, my grandfather taught me how to change oil in a car. But it seems like men these days just don't know how to do this stuff. So when the Russian guy disappears under the water and he doesn't come back up, and then at first they think it's a joke, they run to the edge of the lake and they're yelling for him to come back, like, hey, the joke's not funny, come back, come back. And when he doesn't pop up, the pregnant girlfriend dives actually into the lake to try to find him, while the two friggin' guys are standing on the shore. They're just like right there, right on the land. Why is a pregnant woman jumping into a lake? It doesn't make any sense. Be friggin' men and go try to find this guy. It's a lake, it's not an ocean. So I guess he does drown. They see some sort of weird image a little bit later, which could be the crazy woman from the city, and she pops up out of the water and I guess leaves and stuff like that. Um, it just annoyed the crap out of me because all these guys do is bitch and moan and groan, and that's all it is. And I could not wait. And like I said, she's really annoying too. That I could not wait for them to die. Um, and they do. The other thing that really bugs me with this is that there is a wraparound. So there's kind of like a bookend. It's not really a wrap. I guess it's more bookends. And it's a Russian guy who goes out on these trips to like weird places, like he does hiking and stuff. And he says that he found the digital camera that uh that the four people had. And this film was only made a couple years ago. So, and the camera looks old, but he finds it, he digitizes it, and he says that he put together this movie to um kind of figure out or to show people what happened to these four people. So he found a digital camera, but some of the footage that's shown is from a 16 millimeter camera that one of the guys buys when they're kind of touring around Russia. And he buys it and they make fun of him. And he's like, hey, this is a classic, you know. And he pops it open and there are two reels in there. And now, if this was only a couple of years ago, it's not going to be easy to find. And I would imagine, especially in Russia, probably not easy to find 16 millimeter film. So either he popped the lid open and there was already film in it, and he exposed the film, so now it's no good, or they were able to track down somebody who sold 16 millimeter film. And it's never explained because he films and he films and he films. And according to the Russian guy who found the digital camera, he never brings up, oh yeah, I also found this 16 millimeter camera, or that I found this 16 millimeter film that's in a can. And this guy endlessly shoots with this 16 millimeter camera. And I guess this Russian guy put that footage intercut in between the digital footage, which makes no sense whatsoever. Because one, there isn't that much time on 16 millimeter film. I'm 55. When I went to college, to film school, we shot on 16. And you would really have to, you know, we only did a certain amount of takes. It's not like digital where you could just shoot and shoot and shoot. You really had to watch out what you had to do because there's not much time on a roll of 16 millimeter film. So then if he bought more than one roll, he would have to find a place to take it out of the camera and put it into the can and then secure the can with tape. So most of the time with like 16 millimeter film or really any type of film, you know, unless it's like Super 8 or something when it comes in its own plastic canister, like a cartridge, you would use a black bag and you would stick your hands in it so light wouldn't come through, and you like unzip it, you put the camera in, zip it up, you put your hands in there, and you would basically in class you would take a test on doing this because if any light came in, it would expose your film. So I don't know where he was doing this. It makes no sense. And that really annoyed me, especially being a filmmaker myself. And then this Russian guy also inputted, I guess, footage from the town, or I keep saying town or city because I'm not sure if it's a town or city. So I'll just call it a city. But it's probably a town, but whatever. And then he takes this footage that I think was probably shot, it was newly shot footage, and intercuts it into the movie, and then finds footage of this girl who got lost during the evacuation and is being tested on by Russian scientists. And she has this doll with her and stuff. So where did he find this footage? I mean, I know now, like on YouTube, you can actually see footage of, you know, Chernobyl and everything that was going on around it. But it's like, it's weird. There's like a piece of footage of this little girl, and it's like 1985, I think. And she has chalk and she's on the sidewalk and she's drawing a picture. And all these girls come up and start smudging the picture and like kind of pushing her around. And I'm like, that's weird. Why would you put something like that in there? If this is new footage or even old footage, you know, it's very negative. Why not? You would want to show the people that lived there before the evacuation as being happy, because they didn't want to leave. They only thought that they were going to leave for like 3 days and then they were going to come back, and they didn't. So it's just strange footage. And like, why is all this in there? And then, of course, when the people run with the cameras, it looks like freaking Blair Witch. It's like, it's that footage that everybody freaking hates. And I've run with a digital camera before, and it doesn't go like this, like Blair Witch does. Because this film desperately wants to be Blair Witch, which uses like VHS and um I think it's VHS, but it uses like video or digital and a like a 16 millimeter camera. And so this does the same. It also does in that digital footage, they also want it to be Cloverfield. So it keeps glitching and going back to like a couple days earlier, where the Russian guy and the girl, before she says that she's pregnant, where they're in like Russia and they're having a good time and they're laughing and they're having fun, and then it glitches back to present, the present stuff, and it's like, God, make up your mind on what this movie is, and the amount of bickering. I mean, it's like, how are these people even friends? I mean, why are they even together? And my theory on the guy drowning is that he didn't want to deal with her pregnancy, because it is pretty weird that only a minute or two later, he's wasted, and then he takes off his clothes except for his underwear. He goes into the water, goes under it, and does not come back. And I guess it's supposed to be the ghost girl or the psycho girl that's living, in the abandoned city, to maybe, I guess, that she's supposed to pull him under. I'm not really sure. The only really good thing about this is the locations are great, because I think they're the same locations where everybody shot at, and I think that's in the Ukraine, and that stuff looked great. The filming in this was annoying. Every once in a while, music comes in, and if it's a found footage film, you should not have music because it's found footage. That was the one thing I hated in Diary of the Dead. Well, I didn't like Diary of the Dead, but for a George Romero experiment, and it should have been his last zombie film, not Survival, which was one of the worst things I've ever watched. But just as an experiment, that's fine. But he even had like the lead girl in that, who does the voiceover at the beginning, say, "Oh, well, I added music to this for like suspense." And it's like, no, it's a found footage film. You're not supposed to have music in it. That's the point. And it's just like, I don't understand. I don't understand what people do, why they do these things. It just annoys the hell out of me. And yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't. I'm really baffled by this. I think I'm going to keep it just for the locations. But it says it's not a wrong turn. Wrong turn. It's a road to death, because they eventually get lost, and that's how they end up here. Um, so let me read you the back so you kind of get a little better of an idea of what it is. So, oh yeah, there's the annoying girl. There's the little girl with her doll, and she's getting the experiments on her. There's the girl again, our lead, and here's one of the really annoying guys. And then this is supposed to be her, but like as an adult, like a demon girl adult. And I never figured out if she's supposed to be like a ghost, if she's actually still just like an adult living there that's all messed up from like the radiation, or she's a demon because she's got like the white eyes. I don't know. But it says they thought they were alone when a group of unsuspecting American tourists stumble across the Chernobyl exclusion zone whilst on their travels across Eastern Europe. Their intrigue quickly turns to cold fear. Evil awaits in the form of ghosts of the hundreds of citizens who died trying to flee the aftermath of the explosion. It looks like the group has no hope when they meet a mysterious, barely living girl, but will she help them escape? This description, which I have not read before, makes no sense, because they were not out trying to find this place. They just ended up there. It was one of these things where their car gets stuck in mud and they can't get it out. And I was yelling at the screen, once again, be a fucking man and go get rocks, like big rocks, and stick them underneath the tire so it's not slipping in mud and it grips onto the rocks and pulls you out. Oh, so fucking annoying. And so they start walking. It becomes night. They have the camp, and that's when the guy goes into the lake and drowns. And then they keep going down the road, and they see all of these. They don't look like ghosts. They just look like real people that are like roaming around the woods, which were, I guess, they're supposed to be. Well, hence the title. And you even see at one point, well, it goes to a TV screen for some reason where it talks to, it looks like a TV screen, but I think it's more of like a radio. And it's like a cop talking to a cop, or the government talking to the police, or somebody that says that nobody can leave the area because they probably have radiation. And which is something that did happen, is the military did go around like killing all the animals, you know, dogs, all that stuff, rabbits, cats, everything, so they wouldn't get out of that zone and have radiation and affect other people. And they're running around, and at one point they see the demon woman or ghost woman, whatever she is, but they, like, the cops are shooting women and children. And they eventually find themselves by some like abandoned houses that are just all kind of wrecked. And they go into one, and like something kind of comes up through the floor, like there's a hole in the floor and it kind of comes up through it. And then there's like something at the window, we see it really fast, and then the camera starts doing like this again as they're running. And then that's when they end up at like this building, and they're like, oh shit, what is this place, you know? And they kind of go in deeper and deeper and deeper. And then that's when they end up in the abandoned city. And weird things start happening to them there. But I should probably get back to the questions here. So what happens in the film? I've got greatly into that. Does the plot make sense? I don't think so. No, it's you know, is it easy enough to follow? It is, but the way that the entire thing is presented, I don't think that the plot makes sense. You know, is it believable? No, I don't believe that these people would be friends or anything. I don't. They're all just assholes, you know. The characters, who are the main characters, pregnant girl, Russian guy, and then the two dickhead friends. One of them is filming with the digital camera, the other one is filming with the 16mm camera. And then the main girl or woman that's running around the place, like trying to kill them. So and then okay, so who are they? Okay, so who are the main characters? What are they like? Annoying as hell. Who are the actors playing these parts? I don't care. I don't care. I really don't. I will tell you, yeah, it's 2001. It's not rated. It is widescreen. It's 84 minutes. And yeah, I'm just not, I just don't care enough to try to work out their names. Are they good in these parts? Maybe. I mean, I wasn't really happy with the lead girl's acting. She's pretty, so she was nice to look at for almost 90 minutes, but just everybody will not shut up. They just keep screaming and yelling and arguing and stuff, and it just, like, they barely use cell phones, which doesn't, you know, it's like, this is only a couple years ago. What is the camera work like? Annoying. I did not like the camera work in this at all. You still, even though it's found footage, you still need to make it where people want to sit through it and not feel like they have motion sickness, or that the camera work kind of makes sense. The only one of the things that I did like in this, as to why the guy was filming, is because the Russian guy drowned and they don't know how he drowned, or even if he did drown, is the guy says, we need to keep filming because when we get back to America, we don't want to get blamed for his death. And so, which to me made sense. And they do bring up the fact that the battery is low on the camera and that the guy does have another battery. And he even says, oh, yeah, it's 10 hours. So all of that I thought was fine. It's like, okay, good. They're giving us reasons. But then everybody keeps telling the guy to turn off the camera. And it's like, no, you keep it under these circumstances, you keep the camera going because you don't want to get blamed for this guy's murder or anybody else's murder. And also if you're being hunted down by some weird ghost demon woman, it's got a thing for a doll, then you want to keep filming and try to get that, try to capture her on camera. So if there are special effects, what were they like? A lot of CGI stuff, a lot of CGI. It just didn't look good to me. Are there any beautiful scenes? Well, the only scene that I really liked in the entire movie was, and maybe this is beautiful, the guy with the 16 millimeter camera sees the demon ghost woman up in one of the buildings, and he books. And like the other two people are like, wait, what are you doing? And he runs up the stairs and he's filming all around. And then right in front of him, the woman pops up. And then we cut back to the two people going like, where is he? Where is he? I don't see him. And he flies out of a window and smashes on the ground. He doesn't go out of camera view. It's CGI blood, which is fine, whatever. But it is hilarious. And I don't know exactly how they did that, if they maybe used a stuntman or if it was, like a visual effect or something, but it looked good and it was funny. I went back and watched it twice. Because when he hits the ground, he just goes splat, and then they run over to him, and then you just see him, like face down and dead, and there's blood all around and stuff. So that was a beautiful scene. That I enjoyed quite a bit. Are there any moments when the camera is used in an interesting way? My answer to that will be no. No, it really wasn't. I don't. I've done 2 found footage short films. I think one's about 15 minutes, one's around 20 minutes. You can go catch them on my YouTube channel. There's a few different versions of them. Just go to John Ward at Dark Park Films, and you'll find them in there. One is called, well, there's 3 versions of this one: Cannibal, The Cannibal, and The Hike, and they're all different. And then there's 2 versions of a film called If I Can't Have You, and which was my first found footage. But we had worked all that stuff out in advance on both films, especially Cannibal, and we knew exactly what shots we were getting. We looked at the shots, and if it didn't work out, Mindy, my lead actress, we had her redo it, and then she got with the cannibal, Johnny, and if that stuff didn't work out, we reshot it. We were very conscious of what was being shot, and this, I guess they were too, but I just didn't find anything interesting. Just there weren't any interesting shots. So did you enjoy the film? No, I think I have made that very clear that this is one that you could skip. Yeah. Unless you like the abandoned buildings and all that type of stuff, the Ferris wheel and merry-go-rounds and stuff like that, then watch it. But otherwise, it's not worth it. What were its good and bad points? I didn't really think that the good points would be all the abandoned stuff. The bad points are that I watched it. Like I said, I probably would have enjoyed Ghosts of Amityville better. So, oh well. What scene did you particularly enjoy or remember? The guy being thrown out the window. Was it good? Yeah, that was actually the best part of the whole movie. It looked good, except for the CGI blood, which, like I said, fine, whatever. It looked good. I was actually laughing at that. What scene did you particularly enjoy or remember? Well, I think I just read that. Okay, sorry. What scene did you particularly not enjoy, and why was it bad? Um, all of it, I guess, except for the guy being thrown out of the window. There are just some films that just don't work. They just don't. Would you recommend this film, and to what sort of people, and why? I would not recommend this film um, to anybody unless you are interested in like historic, like kind of disasters that have happened, and you know that you're never going to be able to probably go to this town um, or city, and this is your chance to look at what's around there, or at least something that's close to it. Um, and so that really probably just historic people, like historical type people that want to look at that. So that's the type of people that I would recommend it to. Um, are there any other films that you could compare this to? Yeah, I just did Chernobyl Diaries. So, which is the better of the two, but then also Blair Witch, um, Cloverfield. Um, I mean, God, yeah, so many. And these characters, they're not the greatest characters either. They're not the nicest people, but I can watch this film. If somebody came over to my apartment and said, "Hey, let's watch this," I would say yes. If they said, let's watch this," I'd be like, "No, I'm not going to do that. I'll keep it, but oh well." All right, so that's pretty much it. So thanks, and yeah, avoid this film. Sorry, and I think I'll take my goodbye swig here. So thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, do all that type of stuff with Indie Film Cafe. You know, give that those likes and everything to Jonathan and Paul. And I will see you on the next video, which will hopefully be a better movie. Hopefully we can get back on track. So I'm trying to watch stuff that I haven't seen before. And yeah, it's a mixed bag. So it's taking a chance on a lot of stuff. But the next one that I want to do actually looks pretty good from the trailer, so I'm excited. So we'll see what happens with that one. Okay, everybody. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.